Hey guys, how's it going? Today I wanted to go over a little thing, and you already know what it is because you clicked on the title of this video. So the topic I wanted to go over and I wrote a little thing about is living in a doom world is actually your superpower. And I want to go over how that is and kind of my thoughts on this. So let's go ahead and do it. Every day we wake up and we're all fed the same narrative: war, poverty, inflation. You remember that rent is due. You get in the car, sit in traffic. Your car then decides to remind you that the oil change you've been putting off for 2 weeks is now 3 weeks overdue. You get to work and your coworker talks of having a similar morning experience. You open your phone and scroll the same narrative you were fed this morning. It's fed to you again. Things you can't afford are shown to you to try to convince you that purchasing them will solve all your problems. More information of corruption and a lot of proof of how unaffordable life has become is fed to you. Exhausted, you set the phone down, shrug your shoulders, and think to yourself, oh well, what's the point? I guess I'll just work to do this all over again tomorrow. You look around at your friends, your coworkers, and your family repeating the same loop that you are. On your drive home, a car that costs 5 times the amount of yours zips by you in traffic and takes an exit towards the airport. You wonder why life didn't choose you instead of them. You give yourself an assumption about that person that you can never back up or justify, but it kind of justifies your position in life. You then shrug your shoulders, just as you had done earlier that day, and tell yourself, oh well, I need to get home to relax and prepare to do the same thing I did today tomorrow. What if I told you life didn't choose that person, but that person chose themselves? And by choosing themselves, life was forced to choose them. You picture yourself as that person driving to the airport in that nice car. Your only worry being that maybe you left the toothbrush behind. Something happens for a minute. Your chest eases up, a warmth fills your body, and your mind is clear for a second. Just then, you receive a phone call from your best friend. You say hello, as you normally think you do, and they give you kind of a strange reply. Hello, what has you in such a good mood? You talk for a few minutes, and they end the call with something you haven't really heard from someone since you were a child. Hey, it was really refreshing talking to you. Let's get together soon or something. You sit and think to yourself, what could be so refreshing about talking to me? As you reminisce on the conversation, trying to come up with reasons your friend felt so intrigued and comforted by your completely normal conversation, you realize something. It seems small, but it's the only variable you could find in the interaction. You started that conversation with a clear head and warmth in your chest, because in that moment you truly believed and felt like you could be whatever you wanted. You truly believe and felt like life could be whatever you want it to be, and that somehow affected your friend without even knowing it. In a world of negativity where people stare into the abyss of doom, turn your back to the abyss, and others may notice the anomaly and follow suit. So if you're staring into negativity and everyone else is, turn your back to it, guys. That's what I'm trying to say. What is even more profound that you will find when you turn away from the abyss is that you find yourself staring at another person's back who is ahead of you. You then remember the nice car that sped by you and how infectious it was when you chose to think positively of that person and put yourself in their shoes. So you walk towards the person ahead of you eagerly. They acknowledge you as you approach and seem delighted by your arrival. This confuses you because usually people that seem ahead of you in life seem to hesitate and be dismissive of your presence. You make a realization. When all your peers and acquaintances closest to you stare into the abyss of doom and worry, it brings you great opportunity. You must turn away and glow like a neon sign that somehow still has power in the middle of a blackout. Imagine standing atop a hill at night, staring at a town that has just lost power. Except you notice one thing. There's a restaurant with a generator running, its lights on, and music playing in the distance. That is what you can and need to be in this world of doom. It has never been easier to be recognized by those who have some of the answers you are searching for. Stick out, be driven, and be patient. Thank you, guys. I hope that made some sense. So